pull the ferro rod rather than pushing the striker. Now you want to quickly supply your tinder. The feather sticks may burn very quickly. You need to have the next size of your tinder, or referred to as kindling, ready to go. A good rule of thumb is to double the size of the tinder as it grows, but do not go more than double. The art of fire starting is the ability to manipulate the fuel supply and the air. The fuel should get progressively larger. The smaller fuel that starts off with, the tinder, that is more surface area and can combust more easily, but it burns quickly. As the fire grows, you have larger items which has less surface area, but will burn a little bit slower. The key is to have that heat transferred to that next layer of the fuel supply. It takes practice to know when to blow on the fire. You don't want to blow it out, but that extra oxygen can really help it combust and expand the flame size. This takes a lot of practice, and of course we suggest you train this a lot on your own before you're out in the field. The key to be successful at this stage is more about the preparation than their execution. You should have all your fuel set up in a progressive layer to be thicker and thicker and have a plentiful supply. A general rule of thumb is when you feel you have enough fuel of all the various different sizes, you probably should double it. That is, double your supply of the small tinder, your medium tinder, and your larger tinder. But in particular, that intermediate tinder, as the fire grows in this stage, you want to keep fueling it, because nothing is more frustrating when you get this far along the process just to watch those flames dwindle out because you were not prepared having the correct size of fuel. As the fire grows, you can take a log cabin-like approach where you stack logs crisscross on top of one another. Another method to stack on additional wood is to use a teepee-like structure. This generally builds a little bit higher flames, perhaps more aesthetically pleasing, but the crisscross log cabin structure tends to be a little bit more practical and suitable for cooking. It's a delicate balance of adding the correct size and amount of fuel, having enough airflow, and also having the fuel close enough together so the heat can go from one stick to another. This takes practice. Watching this video and purchasing a G-Spot fire starting kit from Refined Savages is great, but you have to practice. Even if you live in an urban environment and you have limited exposure to the outdoors, if you have any ability to train this, whether it's on your porch or at your friend's house who has a backyard, we strongly suggest just having a minimal amount of training playing with making a fire. For example, if you're just making one of your summertime backyard fires, don't use a lighter, newspaper, and other conventional means. Grab some sticks, some twigs, some leaves, some dry material. Break out your G-Spot fire starter kit from your Glock in a safe, appropriate manner, and train these skills. Watching this video is great, but it's nothing compared to actually practicing the skills yourself.